What's happening, guys? Coach D coming at you again for your Mindset Monday moment, right? So let's just go ahead. I told you guys last time around, we're going to spend the rest of the year just really breaking down what is your mindset? What does it take to really get that going? What are the right components to your mindset? So let's just go ahead and get rocking and rolling with it. Here's the first thing we got to know about a mindset. It's just simply what the definition of it, right? And mindset, simply defined, is nothing more than a set collection of your attitudes and principles that you hold together that are designed for the sole purpose of you being able to achieve something. That's it, period, point blank, in a nutshell. Right now, while we all have a mindset, whether we're aware of it or not, the reason why some of us haven't achieved the goals that we want in life or haven't reached the heights that we want in life is simply because our mindset is not done correctly. We got to kind of rewire our mindset, right? So we're going to take the next couple weeks that we have here. We got 8 weeks left for the last 2 months of the year, and we're just going to break down what are the principles and attitudes you got to have. So I'm going to tell you, it's going to be 8 of them, okay? Now, the first one, identity. We're going to talk about that one specifically today, right? That's going to be the first one that we're going to jump into with today. The second one is that, well, you got to have a desire to deserve, to dominate. Yeah, we're going to break that one down real heavy as well. The third principle you guys got to have is about character. We're going to talk about that in depth. People use character all the time. They throw it around like they throw around the word love, right? You love your ice cream, you love your wife. I got character at work, I got character at home. And we want to make a big, net for it, but it's really something that's pretty concise when you look at it, right? Next thing that we got after character is that, you've heard this before, maybe at work, right? Whatever it takes. That's what you got to have. You got to have a principle that says you're going to do whatever it takes, and we're going to break that down, right? Now, coming after whatever it takes, guys, you guys also got to have a principle and an attitude about obligation. And we're going to talk about that because people understand obligation for the wrong definition. It's a lot of definitions that go into obligation, right? And the next one that we have after obligation is mindfulness. If you're not aware of mindfulness, I want to say it's the newest thing out, but it's been around for so long that we're just now getting a hold of it into mainstream, right? So go ahead and Google these things. Get prepared for the weeks coming up. After mindfulness, guys, is about appreciation. Right? I know a couple of you guys out there right now like, what do you mean appreciation? I appreciate everything somebody does for me. What about the crap in your life? What about the crap in your life that you ain't have nothing to do with coming into your life? Have you learned to appreciate that yet? That's when it gets a little bit hard. And last but not least, guys, not being a bitch. Again, learn the definitions before you make a judgment. Learn the definitions before you make a judgment, right? But that's the key component that we got to have in our mindset, is about not being a bitch when problems come up. And we got to understand what that word means. It's not about how we want to use it, how we use it as a derogatory term that we want to attribute to women all the time. That's not what it means at all. Google it, guys. I'm talking about not being a complainer, not being a whiner about things that come up in your life. So let's go ahead and recap that, right? For your mindset, again, what are these principles and attitudes that we got to have? Number one, identity. Number two, you got to have that desire to deserve, to dominate. Right? 3, you got to have that character right there ready to rock and roll. 4, whatever it takes. We're going to break that down. I'm not talking about robbing a bank to get 100 grand, but we're going to figure out what your whatever it takes really means. 5th principle, guys, right? Obligation. Obligation. What do we got after obligation? Again, mindfulness, followed by appreciation. And yeah, you guys are going to be waiting for this one coming up, not being a bitch. So let's just go ahead and jump into it, guys. I told you the first principle we was going to discuss today that I want you all to think about for the rest of the week is about your identity, right? And plainly stated, your identity is simply the fact of who you are, not what you have become or done. So think about that for a minute, right? As you go about this week, maybe you're a parent, you're an executive, you're a spouse, you're I don't know, whatever labels and roles you've acquired, a graduate, a student, whatever these roles, a sibling, all these things that we got that we kind of attach to. What if none of those roles and labels were attached to you? Who would you be? Who would people recognize you as? Like, they wouldn't see you as, Mr. and Mrs. Jones' daughter anymore. You're not going to be, so-and-so's little brother anymore. Who do you exactly recognize? You don't have all the high accolades that you got from work. Who exactly are you then? That's when we get a chance to look at your real identity. So here's what I want you guys to do this week to just get a better grasp of your identity. Number one thing I want you to do is I want you to list every single label and role you have acquired. Write them all down on a piece of paper. And then right beside that, I want you to tell me what about you makes you great at that. You see, that's when we're going to find out what your identity is. See, I'm not talking about the crap that we've done in our life either. I'm pretty sure if you're watching this video, you've had some shit happen in your life. You've dealt with some things. You've had to go through some things. You've probably made some bad decisions. Here's the deal. We all have. It doesn't change who we are. It's just a circumstance of who we are. Make that list. Figure out what makes you great at that list. Then get back to me at it. All right, guys, we're going to connect next week. You got the list about mindset that we're going to be running through. I'm looking forward to connecting with you guys next week. Thanks for the feedback. Love you guys. Kick ass this week.